Exactly. So you got men that are natural minded, and they can only but break it down from a natural minded perspective. Okay. So if you're a natural man, you really shouldn't be preaching. A natural man would say things like, "Oh, the mark of the beast is not the chip, or there ain't no chip, okay, or there's no salvation."
And what the beast is.
Exactly. That's another thing. That's another hurdle they haven't got over. So they don't even understand the beast exactly. But I'm not gonna put that out there. You're gonna have to find that out for yourself. Go on, bro.
But he that is spiritual judgeth all things.
Right, he that is spiritual judge of all things. So that means we can judge. You got people that are saying, "Oh, you can't judge me." Yeah, we can judge you. Don't you judge what you put on? So the same way you judge what you put on is the same way we can judge the people that come across us, man. And people are judgmental anyway. Even the people that you deal with on a day-to-day basis, you judge based on how they look.
Yeah.
Okay? So we don't want to hear no crap about, "Oh, you can't judge." People judge every day.
You have to judge things.
And there's nothing wrong with it. Go on, bro.
So like if I just say people do judge every day, for example, when you have to cross the road, you look at the cars, you judge the speed that they're moving.
Exactly.
You don't just walk out into the road.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because can I just say, because when they hear the word judgment, they assume, that it's always ill. They're like, we're going to be judged, man. But Lord willing, we're going to be judged, and our judgment is going to be, what we want it to be, which is
in righteousness,
in righteousness, and being a part of the elect, man. So judgment is for everyone, man.
Go on. Yeah, Romeo. Give him the wider light that you have. Okay. Yeah, give him that light.
It's lucky make another point as well.
Yeah, go on.
The scriptures say that we're going to judge angels, so how are we not supposed to
put
judge?
that one down, brother.
This one here?
Yeah, put that one down. And then just use that one.
Hold that piece, brother. Shut.
Yeah, the reason why people don't like judgment is because they know that they're wicked.
That's right.
Like the scripture says, they come not to the light because they know that their deeds are wicked, so to speak. So yeah, that's what it is right there. But we're gonna judge our nation anyway, regardless of what, because we're commanded to do just that, and to preach the word. Go on, bro.
But he that is spiritual judgeth all things, yet himself is judged of no man.
Yeah, so if we're walking according to the rule, which is the word of the Lord, you can't judge us. You can't really say anything about us. Now, you could judge us if we weren't going according to the rule, but we're going according to the rule. So therefore, you can't say anything bad against us. The only thing that you can do is scoff and scorn. That's the only thing you can do, but you really can't say that we're going off on anything, because we're walking according to the script. According to the Bible. Let me put it that way. Go on, brother. Read that.
For who have known the mind of the Lord that he may instruct him? But we have the mind of Mashiach.
Right, but we have the mind of the Messiah, Yahweh Shai. So I mean, you have a lot of people even the ones that proclaim to be advocates or ambassadors of Yahweh Shai, they're not walking according to Yahweh Shai. They're walking according to their own needs, formulating doctrines out of the scriptures, man. That's not in scripture, and teaching these things and misleading and misguiding and leading their flock.
Yeah, come around here.
Yeah, you're going.
I know start from 10. Amos 5.
Yeah, so read what you got.
Yeah, this is Amos 5 and 10. They hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly.
Yeah, and that's what they're supposed to do, because their spirit is dead set against the spirit of truth anyway. So they're gonna rebuke those that speak up in the gate. All right, they're gonna do that because, like I said, we represent Yahweh Shai. We represent a man that died on the cross that they didn't like 2,000 years ago, and they don't like him right now. As we always speak about reincarnation. Let's get Ecclesiastes, the 1st chapter. Somebody get me that. The scripture says there is no new thing under the sun. The thing that you may see is being new is not new. It have already been of old time, meaning the spirit. The spirit has already been of old time, the spirits of men. So the spirits come back and they do the same thing, or they do the same exact thing that they were constructed to do. Go on, bro.
So Ecclesiastes 1 and 9. The thing that have been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done.
Right. That which is done is that which shall be done. All right. So, like I said, this is why you have people that are born on this earth and they play out their lifetime. They may have had a past life 200 years ago, 300 years ago, or they may have had a past life 70 years ago. But they come back in this lifetime and they do the same thing all over again that they did in their past life. All right. So if you're a spirit that hated or despised Yahweh Shai back then you're going to despise his men. The only difference is that Yahweh Shai is not here in the physical realm, but he's here in the spiritual realm. But if you have men coming in the spirit of the truth, which is Yahweh Shai, you're going to hate that man. Why? Because you hated him back then. That's why it says there's no new thing under the sun. The thing that you think is new, it have already been of old time, meaning the spirit of man. And this is why people formulate gods that they used to worship back in the past life. Or what they would do, they'll worship gods that were worshipped in the past. Like the gods of Babylon is being worshipped today. The gods of Egypt are being worshipped today. All of these same gods, and even half of these gods are being renewed, called something else. Okay? So everything comes back. If the same spirits are back, then the same spirits are going to come back and build the same thing. Like, for example, we're in a revival version of the Roman Empire. Can't nobody tell me that this is not Rome. This is the Roman Empire. England is a part of the Roman Empire, right? America is Rome as well. All of these Western European countries are Roman-based societies that have been revived all over again. And it tells you that in Revelations. Okay. Now, if you go in the depth of West End, you're going to see Romanized building constructs. You're going to see those pillars, those Romanized petrorized. What is the building constructs? That's what you're going to see, because the same people are back here doing the same thing, playing out their role. Even during the Greeks, the Greek Empire, they had those same building constructs. All right, go on, brother.
So back in Ecclesiastes 1 and 9, so it says the thing that have been it is that which shall be. It's like it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. Yeah.
So all of the spirits that are here now, all of the souls that have been back in the past, they're here right now, playing out their part. Like during the time of the Greeks, the Greeks were known for what? Molesting boys, right? Pedophilia was known in ancient Rome. I mean, not ancient Rome, the ancient Greek Empire, right? And even in Rome too, you had a lot of that going on in ancient Rome, and you had people sleeping with animals in ancient Rome too, goats and all of that. And people are doing the same thing. You had people sleeping with their dogs, sleeping with their cats, and doing all kind of strange things, man, that the Bible prohibits not man to do, because the Bible really is the instruction of man. So you had men back then that were violating the instructions of the scriptures back then, and they're doing the same thing now. Go on, brother.
It's like, if I may as well, the term lesbian goes back to ancient Greece.
Lesbos.
Yeah, the island of Lesbos.
Man.
That's right, where there was a whole island of women just freaking off with each other.
Man,
That's where it come from.
see, that's what I'm saying, man. Go on, brother.
And there is no new thing under the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 10. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new?
Right.
It hath been already of old time.
Right, meaning them spirits and everything that was done by the spirits of the souls of men, let me put it that way, those things are not new. Those things are now here today. These are old things that have been proclaimed newly created. All right, and even what we're doing is not something new. You had prophets back in the past, and you have prophets now, and we happen to be those prophets. What does it mean to be a prophet? Meaning to be someone that predicts the future of current events. So what are we predicting? What have we been predicting for as long as you have seen us? We predict that America is going to go into a nuclear war and America's going to be destroyed. Okay, we predict that the Edomites, which are the so-called Europeans today, and these other nations, the so-called Arabs, the so-called Chinese, the Moabites, the so-called Japanese, the Ammonites, right? The indigenous people of Africa, the Hamites, all right, and the people of Judgeth, which is in Australia and those Pacific islands and stuff like that, the Samoan people, all of those people are going to go into captivity. So so we predict these things. We prophesy about these things. Okay, go on.
Verse 11.
And you really can't hate us for saying these things. All we're doing is just speaking the truth. Don't hate us for speaking this message. Just hate the truth itself.
That's right.
Or take it up with the Most High. Go on, brother.
Verse 11. There is no remembrance of former things.
Right. There's no remembrance of former things. And this is why you have people that have been conditioned to believe that they have newborn babies and stuff like that. But yeah, the baby may be new in terms of the body, but the soul of that baby is already, it's been here already. It's been on earth already. And this is why you have some children that can actually think about the past and what they did. Sometimes the Spirit of the Lord can reveal certain things to kids about their past life.
Yeah.
Go on, bro.
There is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance.
Right. Neither shall there be any remembrance. So this is why a lot of us don't remember what happened in our past life. We all have the past life of somewhat, but we don't remember those things of our past life. We just remember what happened in this lifetime.
Can I add something?
Go on, bro.
Yeah, there's that saying, deja vu,
Yes.
which some brothers have been known to get it, or in general people get that and they say they've been there before, they feel like they've been there somewhere before. Or another term is a glitch in the matrix.
Right.
So there's times I get that something, premonition sometimes. Even last week we came here. I've never been here before. I've never been at that station before. I'm not going to mention the name, but I had a little, just a glitch in the matrix, a little deja vu for just a little short period of time. So yeah, that's a glitch. As you were saying, there's no remembrance, but sometimes it comes up and creeps up every now and then.
Yeah. The most I can reveal it to you sometimes. You just never know. Go on, bro.
It's like I misread the sentence in the scripture. But, it said, neither shall there be remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after.
Right. There's only the Lord remembers everything. Now there's things that the Lord can reveal to you, and there's certain things that He wants to keep for Himself. Get me that in Revelations, the 10th chapter. Somebody get me Revelation, the 10th chapter. Start from the first verse. Because you got to understand, the Heavenly Father created everything from beginning to the end. So the Lord knows about the end of what's to come in this world. The only difference is that we don't know. Before man was placed upon earth, He set everything in order. He set all the kingdom is in order, and He knew about the end. He knew about the beginning and the end of all of these kingdoms He set up. All right? And that's why we're here on the scene in the year, 2019. The prophets of the Lord proclaiming the end. Why is that? Because the Lord has set us up throughout the years to speak this word, even up to this very time and age. Because the Lord knows how close we are to the end of this world. What do I mean by the end of the world? I'm talking about the end of this revival of this ancient Roman system, which is ruled and governed by the Edomites. So this is why we're up here proclaiming the word. We're not proclaiming the word for any other reason rather than that. Yeah, we're here to teach the word, to gain the elect, but we're also here to proclaim the end as it's coming. Go on, brother.
Revelations 10 and 12, was it you wanted?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Revelations 10 and...
Stop from the verse.
Okay. Revelations 10 and 1. And I saw another mighty angel come down from heaven, clothed with a cloud. And
chariot. Go on.
And a rainbow was upon his head.
Yep.
And his face was as it were the sun. And his feet as the pillar of fire.
Yep.
And he had in his hand a little book open, and he set his right foot upon the sea, and his left foot on the earth. and cried with a loud voice, as when a lion roareth. And when he had cried, seven thunders uttered their voices.
In other words, the angels. Go on.
And when the 7 thunders had uttered their voices, I was about to write, and I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, seal up those things which the 7 thunders uttered.
Right, so there were 7 angels that uttered these things, and the Lord commanded to seal them up. In other words, close them up, because it wasn't time for those things to be revealed. Oh, he didn't want those things to be revealed.
this?
Go on.
And write them not.
And write them not. So when we read the book of Revelations, there's a lot of things written in that book, that chapter alone, but there's things that were not written, because he didn't want those things to be revealed. But it'll all be revealed into the kingdom. The books, all of the books will be opened into the kingdom.
Help him read, innit?
In more detail. Go on, brother.
Verse 5. And the angel which I saw stand upon the sea and upon the earth lifted up his hand to heaven.
Right, that's all I wanted. Yes, so go back to what you had before.
Jeremiah 5th chapter.
Yeah. No, we're done with Jeremiah 5. Yeah, so and another thing, so I want to get into something else. You got a precept, right? I'll tell you what, so we're gonna move forward, and I want you brothers to get me start with Revelation 17 verse 15.
How about that? So this is Revelation 17 and 15. This is
What was that? Revelation 17 and
15.
yeah, I got it.
you got it, yeah.
This is Revelation 17 and 15. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the horse sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore.
Right, it says these shall hate the whore, because there's an article that I was reading. What is it? Yesterday, I believe it was, about how the French president, what he really wanted to do what he wants to do is to leave NATO. He's proclaiming to Europe to leave NATO, because the thing with what America did, they actually withdrawn their troops from Syria and abandoned also their Kurdish allies as well. All right. And eventually it's going to get down to that point where all of the European nations are going to do just that. They're going to do just that, man. So when it's all said and done, prophecy is going to take place. I wonder what's going on over there, man. Whatever what's going on, it's all in the Lord's hand anyway. Let's keep reading.
And shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh.
Yeah, so what's gonna happen
Is that light too bright up?
Huh?
No, Kara, Salakia, brother, still Salakia.
Yeah, that's for the brothers that can't see or read, because it's dark out here now. Yeah, so read that.
And burn her with fire. For the Most High hath put it in their hearts to fulfill his will.
Yeah, so that's what's going on right now. What's going on right now is that everything's happening according to the will of the Most High. You know what I mean? And what's taking place is you have these nations, they're gathering together and they're formulating these allies. So like y'all, what am I talking about? You have these European nations, they're complaining about being under America. Okay, and what they're reconsidering is they're considering to build their own military now. The EU wants to build their own military and get from underneath America. So this is Bible prophecy happening. And then once they build their own military power, eventually they can then rise up against America. You know, because you have Trump that's in office, and Trump is causing a lot of disarray amongst the other members that's a part of the parties, the different parties of the world. Okay, all of these political figureheads. All right? So he's already getting on people's nerves as it stands. So eventually what's going to happen is this prophecy. The European military is probably they're going to formulate their own military, and they're going to pretty much be probably side by side with Russia, and then they're going to pretty much go blow for blow like that. And then America's not going to have no allies, because the allies of America is the EU. Called, what is it? The North Atlantic Treaty Organization. They all came together and they formulated the treaty. Okay, and also in Article 5 it says that if one of the European nations were attacked by another country, all of them would have to act as if it happened to them. But what Macron is saying, the French Prime Minister, he's saying he don't know about that. He don't trust that, because America withdrawn their troops from Syria and left them in the dust in Syria. All right, so he's proclaiming to the Europeans now, the other European countries, look, we have to build our own military. In other words, what he's saying is he can't trust the military power of America no more. He can't trust being under America. Okay? So that's what that's going into. But I want you to continue to read.
And give their kingdom unto the beast.
What is the beast? The beast is the Roman Empire coming back all over again. That's what the beast is. The beast is the Roman Empire. A lot of camps couldn't tell you that. Now they may say, well, you guys are breaking this scripture down wrong and all of this other stuff. Well, I mean, you can say what you gotta say. You can say what you want to say, man. We know what we're talking about. We've done the research. You know, our spiritual eyes are open to these scripts. So we break it down the way we see it fit. All right? Go on, brother.
Until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled.
Until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. And the words of the Most High be fulfilled. Why we're giving out the word right now? As we're preaching the word right now, the words of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua being fulfilled right now.
That's right.
Okay? That's what's happening as I speak. Because the French government seemed to have a problem with connecting itself or trusting America. And I believe in due time, all of these other European countries, they're going to agree with what he's saying. And they're going to make that same kind of sort of move. They're going to agree with maybe formulating their own military. It's going to happen regardless of what. Now, they may think negative about it right now as it stands, but then they may just do just that, what he was saying. Because why? It's not no might. They're going to do it because it's already written in the script. The writing is already on the wall. And the term writing on the wall goes back to the book of Daniels. Okay? Go on.
And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth.
So what is that woman? That woman represents a kingdom or a civilization. And that civilization is what you would call America. That great city which reigneth over the earth. Now, how does America reign over the earth? In other words, its influences, its media. All right? That's how it reigneth all over the earth. But Britain is like the power source of the Western world. All right? Britain is like the mouthpiece of the world. But America is like the influencer. Or should I say, Britain is like the brain of this kingdom and America is like the mouth. Because everything that America pushes out there, people flock to it. Even England has to flock to it. Okay, when it comes to all kind of sort of media coming from America. Like, for example, and I've said this before, if let's just say you're Russell Crowe, right? Which, speaking of Russell Crowe, he just walked this park 3 years ago, by the way. Right? But who is Russell Crowe? Russell Crowe is an American actor. Mm-hmm. Okay, so if Russell Crowe went to...
Australians.
Right, he's but you know what I mean, brother. Yeah, he's Australian, but you know, he's been making movies in America. So if you're a movie star coming from America, the whole wide world is going to know who you are. Now, if you're a celebrity in Italy or Spain, ain't nobody going to know who you are. All right, even if you're a rapper coming from let's say you're a British rapper, the only people that's going to know you are the people that's in England. But America's not going to know who you are. Spain is not going to know who you are. But if you're like an American rapper like Jay-Z, okay, or you're an R&B singer like Beyonce, everybody knows about you already. They already know you. Okay, so America is the main place that influences the world. That's how they reign over all of the nations, man. All right, and then you got Donald Trump. He's pretty much exercising his might and his power, which is dwindling gradually as time goes on. amongst these nations of his that he's allied with, which these allies are looking to break out or break off from America, and they want to do their own thing. And then literally when it's all said and done, they want to rise up against America too. So let's read on.
Revelations 18. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory.
Yeah.
And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, is fallen.
What verse we in?
We're in verse 2. And it's become the habitation of devils.
All right, jump down to verse 15.
The merchants of these things which were made.
What chapter you in?
It's chapter 18.
Go back to 17. Revelation 17, yeah. Verse 15.
And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the horse sitteth, are peoples and multitudes, and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore,
Yeah.
and shall make her desolate and naked.
Now the 10 nations is talking about the original 10 that represents the EU today. Now the first country that comes to mind is the French. What else, man? We also have Spain, which was a part of that, number 2, and you have the Greece, number 3, and then you also have Britain, which is number 4, which comes to my mind, and then you also have who else, man? Germany, and the Netherlands, Luxembourg, and what else, brothers? Help me out here.
Italy.
Yeah, Italy, which is what, 7 now. We've named 7 of them. And
Belgium.
yeah, Belgium, which is 8.
Switzerland.
Yeah, Switzerland, 9. And what
Austria.
else? Huh?
Austria.
Austria. All right, so those are the original 10. That pretty much makes up this revival of this ancient Roman system. Okay, go on.
The horse sitteth on peoples, tongues, and multitudes and nations.
In other words, those are the waters that it was under. Now, when you read Revelation 17 and 2.
Revelation 17 and 2. With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication.
You know the verse where it says, they sit upon many waters.
Is that back to 15?
Yeah, read that again. Read that again. It's probably saying it in that.
15. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, and peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. And,
Yeah, read it again. Read it again. It's a lot here.
and he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the horse sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues.
Yeah, brother, we gotta take Austria out of there. We gotta put Denmark in there. So those are the original 10. So just to correct it, go on, bro.
And the 10 horns which thou sawest, verse 16, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore.
Right, it says, so upon these 10, these shall hate the whore. So who is the whore talking about? It just explained it. It's talking about Babylon the Great. What is Babylon the Great? Babylon the Great is that great city which is Babylon. So that's the society that's sanctioned to be nuclearized. Okay? Obliterated off the face of the map. So not only are you gonna have the people, let's get Ezekiel 38. Because right now, as it stands, also what we're finding out is Russia is getting connected with Africa. They got businesses in Africa now. So if they got business in Africa, they're gonna set up missiles, and they've already done that already. They've already given Africa nuclear power of their own. Go on.
Ezekiel 38. And the word of the Lord, Yahweh, came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, and the land of Magog, and the chief prince of Meshech, and Tabal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith the Lord power, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tabal.
And what is Meshech and Tabal? Now, these are areas within Russia that the people of Judgeth dwelled in at one time. When you read the book of Genesis chapter 10, that was their portion of land the Lord blessed them with. They dwelt in places like Greece and all over Europe, even within Eastern Europe. Go on.
And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws.
Meaning he's going to formulate that particular group of people, the Edomites, as the USSR. Okay? Back in those days where all of those Eastern European countries were all together. Go on.
And I will bring thee forth, and all thy army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor.
You're going.
Even a great company with bucklers and shields.
Yeah, that's your missiles and your missile defense systems. Go on.
All of them handling swords. Persia, Ethiopia.
Right, Persia, which is Iran. I think Iran changed its name. Salakia, Persia changed its name to Iran in the late 1970s, if I'm correct on that. Go on.
Ethiopia and Libya, with them, all of them, with shield and helmet.
Yep.
Gomer and all his bands. The house of Togama of the north quarters. And all
That's Turkey. Go on.
And all his bands. And many people with thee. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself though.
Right, and all thy bands that is within thee. And also, what's happening is that China and Russia has now merged together as well. All right, so that's going on today. So you have two great superpowers with billions of people within their country formulating together. So prophecy has fallen right into fruition, man. It's happening right now as we speak. Prophecy is happening right now as we freaking speak, man. Okay? And there's nothing nobody can do about it. Because that's all we doing, man. All we doing is we come out here and we bring out the same precepts, scriptures, time in and time out. We're not out here to hurt nobody or to cause no alarm and distress. We out here to proclaim the word of the Lord, man. We're the prophets of the Lord. You know, we're not out here to put on Power Ranger suits and attires and preach and pretty much entertaining people. We're not out here for that.
Right.
We out here to warn you of what's to come down, man, and to get the elect in order into this truth. Go on, brother.
And all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou as God unto them.
Right, and be a God unto them. How are they being a God unto them? They're sending them war weapons, like the S-400 missiles that they've been sending down to Turkey and other countries. And they also sent missiles to Africa too. So that's how Russia's being a God unto them. Go on.
And after many days thou shalt be visited. In the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people.
Right, in other words, that's the land of Israel. The land of Israel is going to be taken out as well within this nuclear war. So the land is going to be brought back from the sword. In other words, what does it mean it's going to be brought back from the sword? That land is going to be brought back when, should I say, post-nuclear war, because we're going to bring that land back alive again. It says that the nation, it says that the elect, when they're saved and when they come back down, I'm roughly paraphrasing, that we should rebuild back the